And then you go to the next one and the next one.
With Dame, his truth was more accurate and more closer to what mine was.
So there was no working with him.
And what he said was, yo, I thought we took care of you a long time ago. He looks at me and I'm like, I'm about to knock his whole face off.
The thing that what we built forever be, stamped in history.
It was a collective effort. It was a trifecta, and everybody had their hand in something.
Pause.
Every single thing that happened in Roc-A-Fella was basically my idea.
Between 2000 and 2004, Roc-A-Fella Records reached its absolute peak, evolving from an independent rap label to one of the most influential cultural and commercial empires in hip-hop history. Founded and led by Dame Dash, Jay-Z, and Kareem Burke, and fueled by the rise of artists like Kanye West, Dipset, and State Property, Roc-A-Fella was the undisputed king of the early 2000s. But behind the success, internal tensions and competing visions for the future were beginning to tear the company apart. In late 2004, the label officially fractured when parent company Def Jam Recordings acquired the remaining 50% stake of Roc-A-Fella for $10 million. The historic deal reshaped the balance of power overnight. Jay-Z was appointed president of Def Jam, while co-founders Dame Dash and Kareem Burke were effectively pushed out of the record label, which they helped build from the ground up.
We sold the company and everybody went off and built what they wanted to do by themselves. Damon does his businesses by himself and Jay does his businesses by himself.
People like me and Dame, we'd be together every day because our drive was for Roc-A-Fella, as well as things that we always want to do on our own. We've always been polar opposites. I'm his son's godfather. You know what I'm saying? That's my brother. Me and him, we worked to this thing happen, and we both realize our dreams together. So we gonna always have that bond. So it's not a beef. It's just that it's just growing. You know what I'm saying? That sometimes growing means growing apart, not in a bad way.
This is the record industry. I took Jay-Z and shopped him to every single label, and they all said no. I had to do it myself. Either he was too old, he rapped too fast, they just didn't have it. It was more friendship for me and money for him. I wouldn't have let certain things happen because I didn't think they could happen, but he did things that I thought he would never do. So now I would be like, oh, he would do that, and I would make sure it didn't happen. So Roc-A-Fella would probably still exist right now. I wouldn't have been so generous with Jay. But my point is, regardless of what, Roc-A-Fella still existed. It's just I didn't run it. So why isn't there still a Roc-A-Fella? It was sold, but they gave Jay to run Roc-A-Fella. So Kanye was still there. Everybody was still there. Why is there no more Roc-A-Fella?
How'd you feel towards Jay-Z now?
I don't feel nothing.
Everybody's head was in a different space, and we had so many companies and so many artists. So around that time, Dame went to Rockaware, and he was, really running that ship. And, that became a $700 million company. And Jay was doing starting to get into S. Carter. And that's when I just took over Roc-A-Fella by myself. So, every day with the staff and then going into, retail, radio, legal, promotion, video, and making sure everything was good from A to Z. And then that's when I started the Kanye's project. So I did that project A to Z. And Dame would come on if I needed him. If I'm like, yo, I'm having a problem over here, I'm having a problem over here. 'Cause Dame just thought he could put him on a group and let the group break him. But I seen the genius in what Kanye was doing. And, him having he actually had the name of his next 3 albums. Going back and forth with him about singles because it was probably a 2 or 3 day talk just to get him not to put out Jesus Walks instead of Before All Falls Down. So that's something I had to really get in his mind, like they're not ready for this right now. Biggest mistake probably was with Kanye when Lyor told us he didn't believe in a project and said we could take him to another label.
Lyor Cohen helped Roc-A-Fella to expand their reach, but Dame increasingly felt that executives like Lyor were gaining influence over decisions that should belong only to Roc-A-Fella's founders. Lyor and Steve Stoute operated in the same circles. Stoute represented the new hip-hop business model, and he was the most vocal critic of Dame Dash. According to Dame, Jay-Z was influenced by Cohen, and he was leaning towards the executive circle. On the other side, Stoute and Cohen said many times that Dame was impossible to work with. Kareem was caught up in the middle. From Dame's perspective, this looked like Jay was moving toward the very industry establishment they originally fought against.
But to be honest, I'm sick of these things. Steve is a trifling guy.
Dame wouldn't change.
I was telling him about what I was about to do with DJ Clue. I was going to sign DJ Clue and make a compilation album and put out the make a. I was like the first guy to put out a mixtape as a real album. And I got wind that he went behind my back and offered Clue a deal, and Clue was about to sign the deal. So I literally, with a lot of Roc-A-Fellas and a couple of people from the block, went up in that office while they were sitting around the table about to sign. I had to sit down and say, now, what type of time, you bugging.
The way he spoke to people, the way he treated people, he was angry.
Like, bro, you're not going to just do that. Like, come and take my ideas, know I'm going to do a deal and go around my back and do a deal. So literally I had to take those pens and put the Roc-A-Fella deal right there.
Jay grew up.
I'm a kid from Marcy Projects from Brooklyn. I don't know if you ever done. It's almost like climbing a mountain. And when you see another mountain, then you go to the next one and the next one.
Jay wanted more. I think Jay seen Dame's ceiling.
I just gave him a nice left hook smack. I didn't want to hurt him.
No. Not only Dame and I had an altercation over $18,000. We had 2 altercations. We were in an office at Sony, not at Sony, at his record, we were in the same building. There was like 10 guys in the room. I was by myself, and we got into an altercation.
Another thing that he lied about was the nigga was in my office, and I was with my brother and my cousin and Jay-Z. And I just gave him a nice left hook smack. I didn't want to hurt him.
Yelling, fighting, whatever. About 2 years later, I seen him. We were on the same street, and it was him by himself. He had 2 girls with him. I went to step to him. This man pushed the girl in front of me and took off running. The girl he pushed in front of me falls and then sues me. The insurance company pays out her just to not even have lawyers. They just approve it, Steve. They don't even tell me. They just settle, whatever it is they settle is, $30,000 or some bullshit for nothing.
So I'm walking, and all of a sudden I see Steve Stoute in a dark block. He's not by himself. He's with a girl. I'm with Mackenzie, and I'm with Raquel. So I walk past him, and I'm like, you bitch ass nigga. And what he said was, no, I thought we took care of you a long time ago. He looks at me, and I'm like, I'm about to knock his whole face off. But Rocky, she didn't want me to hit him because the police were around at the police station around the corner.
He pushed the girl faking to fall on the floor, my ankle, all the bullshit.
So she jumped in front of him. I didn't push. He pushed her on the floor. When he did that, I was like, yo, you just pushed a girl on the floor? Those girls, I ain't got to say nothing. They going to tell on you. They civilians. So I sent them that letter like, yo, you better send something over.
But 5 hours after that, we're at Kanye's party, and the girl walks up to me and tells me, you don't remember me? I'm like, no. A girl walks up to me and tells me, you don't remember me? I'm like, no. She says, I was the girl who sued you. The money that you gave us, we used to settle out in LA, to move out to LA, thank you. That's his woman now. So we've always had a thing with each other. What do you want me to say, man? He's in bad shape. He's been in bad shape for a long time. He's not tough. I'm not saying I'm tough. I certainly was not running and doing jumping jacks in the street to get the cops to stop and then had some girl sue me. I didn't do no bullshit like that. But that's him, man. That's him.
This dude, Steve Stoute, is lying through his teeth ridiculously.
Everybody wanted more. Dame just had a very particular way of approaching it. He's far from stupid. He's very smart, very talented. Ego through the roof. So there was no working with him.
When's the last time you talked with Jay-Z? I don't want to talk about Jay-Z. No, come on, Dame.
Why? You know why it's not fair? Because he doesn't talk about it.
I hear
and
you.
every time I talk about the situation, number one, this is what you know. No matter what, I feel he robbed me, period. But personally, the way he did me was dirty. The way he did Biggs was dirty. The way he did Roc-A-Fella was dirty. So he went, told L.A. Reid, I want Roc-A-Fella, I don't want Dame and Biggs down. And we was like, damn, I'd have left. I thought that was dirty. The shit he did with Rockware, that was dirty. When he said he wasn't going to be a part of it while I was selling it and devalued it. And then, I stepped away from it because I needed to go do my own thing. And all of a sudden they do a big deal like that. That was dirty. It was dirty business. And that's how I feel. So anytime you ask me, I'm not salty for life, right? But with him, yeah, I'm salty. That was whack. And look, there's no more Roc-A-Fella.
It's all there. Everything that I said was gonna happen, happened. Everything that I said I wanted to do, I've done. And there's the blueprint. The blueprint literally to me and my life and my journey is there already.
With Dame, his truth was more accurate and more closer to what mine was, but his technique was harsh for me as a young kid and stuff. I felt like a little bit more pressure. And Jay-Z's was a nice guy. And also I felt like I had that truth that Dame has in him. We the same. Like me and Cam, me and Dame, we the same. But I wanted to learn this technique that Jay got of being likable. Like when I was doing Watch the Throne, one of the main reasons why I did it was to learn, you know, Jay's techniques of how he talked to people. Man, I be talking to people the wrong way sometimes. Jay-Z know how to move in a room full of vultures.
Show him how to move in a room full of vultures. Industry shady, you need to be taking over.
Niggas is just on his nuts because he got Beyonce and they think he got $1 billion. I worked at Roc-A-Fella. When Jay made that decision to break off from Dame and Biggs, right? He also put in the stipulation that they couldn't use the word rock no more. He finessed all his friends out of their position.
We all know we're a family at Roc-A-Fella. Jay-Z personifies this, which is why he's actually the franchise right now. And the label is built around him. Jay's my best friend. I'm not ashamed to say that's one of the reasons why we're so tight as a family and why everyone in this room that's with us is gonna get money and get rich, because we believe in sharing.
Even down to Roc-A-Wear. Jay had nothing to do with Roc-A-Wear. If Dame knew that Jay was lying about retiring, he would have stayed with the label. You see what he had? He signed all those people up in case Jay was gonna leave. Jay told him, yo, I don't wanna do this no more. Let's sell a company. And then Def Jam wouldn't give Dame no distribution, and they made sure no other label in hip hop history gave Dame another distribution deal. They blackballed him. There's no better CEO, despite Dame's fucking attitude, than Dame Dash. Let me explain something to y'all. Jay-Z started S. Carter Records. Where is it? Jay-Z started Carter Faculty Records. Where is it? Jay-Z started Roc-A-Fella Records. Where is it? That nigga's not a successful CEO. Jay-Z licenses his name. He's in a 360 deal with Live Nation. Watch all that billionaire talk. Watch when Live Nation cut Jay-Z off. This is the thing with the problem with Jay and Dame. Dame wants to take the money that they make and flip it so they can stay independent. Jay-Z wants to take, nah, nigga, I ain't spending my money. Let's get their money and let's do a deal with them and you know, let's keep their money. And that's the difference between the two. Dame don't want to with these people. He want to be able to do it when he want to do it, when he want to do it. He don't want to have to ask them for nothing. Right. He learned that from dealing with the Weinsteins, Lionsgate. They got control over the stuff because they gave him a check. We don't need their check no more. Jay, let's flip our money. Jay don't want to flip his money. He wants to be stuck to the corporations. He wants to show up for Tom Brady and get a check. And then this ain't no hate Jay train. It's just like, for me, one, he's a sucker just for personally not thinking about everybody that contributed to his career. You got a lot of inspiration from State Property. You got a lot of inspiration from Beans. You got all these dudes, now they all back home because you wanted to go solo. You didn't have to, you could have went solo and let Dame still live and let Dame still make these guys prosper. Because he set them up, they was all set up to go. Right at, if Dame was able to go for another 3 years and then step away, Dame would have got his own distribution deal. Cam, we seen got his own distribution deal. And then all the other artists, Bleak had just started Get Low. Everybody was growing. This nigga pulled the rug from under everybody. And he became the man, and everybody else is back home. When they all tried to come together to do the Black Distribution Company, Jay went and told. He went and told, he blew the spot up, and the feds came in and started hitting niggas with cases in there, because they all said, yo, we're gonna put our money together. We're gonna do our own distribution. Now think about it now, how everybody getting robbed off the streaming. Who we seen Jay close to? Harvey Weinstein. Him and Harvey Weinstein Harvey Weinstein has Jay-Z's rights for television and movies. Jay-Z sold his life rights to Harvey Weinstein. He signed up for something that he can't get out of.
At the time, we were trying to think about how to make
the artists coming up bosses so they could have their own record companies and music labels and their own staff, because at that time we knew we were transitioning.
Biggs to me was treated completely unfairly. The breakup of Roc-A-Fella happened because of Biggs, and it's because Jay didn't want Biggs around no more. Like, him and Biggs weren't speaking for like 2 years, and no one knew it but me. So Biggs just started to kick it with me more. But it's so funny how things turned out. Now he's up under him like he is. I don't know, man. Jay, look how he does his business, bro. Look how, Jay, Biggs don't sit at the table with them. He sits at the kids' table. And that shit's embarrassing. I think they humiliate Biggs on purpose. It's like a humiliation ritual they doing with him, it look like. Like how you go from a partner to being like, not even in the third person. You know what I mean? It's like, I wouldn't do that. It's just too demeaning, and I got too much pride.
Roc-A-Fella began with 3 men chasing the same dream. Along the way, they gained money, power, influence, and a place in hip-hop history. But somewhere between sold-out arenas, executive offices, and million-dollar deals, the dream was shattered. The label that had conquered the industry was no longer fighting outsiders, it was fighting itself. Greed, conflicting visions for the future, attitudes, it all clashed then crashed. When the dust settled, Roc-A-Fella Records was history. What do you think was the main reason that caused the end of Roc-A-Fella Records?